Good evening, everyone. My name is Brittany Sutton, and I'm going to do a short but very informative presentation on communications in your personal relationship. Okay? So first we're going to start talking about what is a personal relationship. A personal relationship is a voluntary commitment between irreplaceable individuals who are influenced by rules, relationship dialects, and surrounding content. Okay, personal relationships are very unique. They're built on emotional connections, they're irreplaceable, and it could be your spouse, your friend, best friend, or a family member you love. Okay, they're continually evolving. And to fully enjoy the benefits from a personal relationship, we have to have skills, information, inspiration, practice, social support, and most importantly, communication. All right, next we're going to talk about, moving along, we're going to discuss features of a personal relationship. And these features are features that I thought was very important. The 3 features I thought was very important is commitment, investment, and rules. First, we're going to talk about commitment. Everybody knows what a commitment is in a personal relationship, in a marriage, or whatever the case may be. Okay, commitment is dedication, it's devotion, it's faithfulness, fidelity, and attentiveness. Commitment is also the decision to remain with a relationship. Commitment is the intent to share a future. When you are in a committed relationship, despite the trouble, despite the disappointment, or the sporadic or irregularness, restlessness, you're gonna stay. That comes with a commitment and a relationship. Commitments are also large. They're big. When you make a commitment, you make something big. Next, we're gonna move right along and talk about investment. Investment is what you put into a relationship that could not retrieve if the relationship were to end. Speaks for itself. You're investing something into the relationship. Okay? You invest your time, you invest your energy, you invest your thoughts, and you invest your feelings. And I'm just gonna give y'all a little short story about my investment into my relationship and my marriage, all right? So Sean and I got married. I was very happy. I didn't care about anything that was going on around me, okay? I was living in another state, in California. He was living in New York. So I wanted to move to New York to be with my husband. I had family members, I had friends to tell me, don't do it. You're in school, you put so much into your schooling, you're in your last semester, don't do it. My parents said don't do it. However, I moved. And once I moved, the relationship unraveled. I had no job, I had nothing. So I thought about divorce. So then I also thought about the investment, the commitment. I invested so much into this relationship, I invested so much into this marriage, and if I leave, what am I going to do? All that goes to waste, right? And I can't get it back. You invest material things, gift material things. You invest money, gifts, dates. You can't get those things back when you invest into a relationship. So before you get into a relationship, make sure you have that commitment and that investment. Investments are powerful. They're powerful because they are personal choices. And the more we invest in a relationship, the harder it is to end regardless of what the situation may be. I invested into this relationship. I've been with this man for 10 years. It's not going anywhere. Next is rules. Rules is a guide on how partners communicate and interpret each other's communications. Rules are considered unspoken understanding between partners. There's also rules in a relationship, okay? Rules is built on respect, and respect. Everybody have rules in a relationship of what you will and what you won't tolerate. And we call those shout now rules. Shout now. Like my shout now rule, shout now come home at 3 o'clock in the morning. So he understands that, he knows that, so he don't do it. So those are rules that we communicate with each other that help build our relationship and our bond. Okay, and rules also reflect our culture on how we was raised or what we believe in, our values. Okay, so everybody have rules, and to maintain a good relationship, we have to build the foundation on those rules. So I just want to ask a few questions. Just not a few, but just one question. What are your rules in your relationship? What are your shouting out rules? Okay, what are your shouting out rules?
If you see I need help and I'm drowning, help me.
Shouting out, okay? Help her. What are your shouting out rules? Don't you? Oh, okay. Okay, moving right along, I'm going to discuss the dialects. Relationship dialects. Okay, many of you probably like, what is a relationship dialect? Okay, relationship dialect is an interpersonal communication theory about close personal ties and relationships that highlight the tensions, struggles, and interplay between contrary tendencies. Okay, relationship dialect focuses on tensions and struggles in a relationship. Okay, it's a union where two individuals from different backgrounds compromise in so many ways. It's a compromise. Okay, the first dialect I'm going to talk about is autonomy and connection. Autonomy dialect involves the desire to be separate on one hand and to be connected on the other hand. Okay, that's just like family members who's coming over. You're happy they're coming, but you're also glad that they're leaving. That's kind of like the autonomy and connection, like come and go. Okay, and it's cherished spending time with our mate, sharing experiences, and feeling connected. We also don't want that relationship to swallow our individuality. We need that time. We need that time to ourselves. And in the closeness and autonomy that go hand in hand, it's natural for us, to be, want to be apart from our mate or our partner, but also love them. Next, we're going to talk about novelty and predictability. Novelty and predictability reflects tensions between the desire for familiar routines and the desire for novelty. Okay, let's talk about routine. We like certain routines to provide security and predictability in our lives. Settling into a routine. A routine is where it's something you do on a daily basis. Like we have a routine where he pick up the kids, come home, or whatever the case may be. It's a routine. However, we want to spruce it up with the novelty. Like we want to change a new experience, do something spontaneous. Like it's very important to have those things in your relationship because routines get boring. So you want to let's say I change my routine and say I want to go and ride a bike. And he's like, hey, that seems fun. I'm going to go and ride a bike with you. So that's very important to have that dialect in your personal relationship. And the third dialect is openness and closeness. And this involves the desire for openness and tension with a desire for privacy. Being open and honest, you don't want to talk about things with anyone else that you talk about with your spouse or with your mate. That's the closeness of the part. And complete openness in a relationship could be intolerable or overpowering. Like you don't want to say too much. Like for instance, you may be uncomfortable talking about your sex life with me, but comfortable talking about it with your spouse. Okay, and that's where you share your inner selves with your mate. Okay, that's also important. Moving right along, I'm going to talk about specific guidelines for communication in personal relationship. And to sustain fulfilling personal relationship, partners rely on communication to deal with internal intention and external pressures. And there are a couple guidelines that I found interesting, which says adapt communication to manage distance. Two of the greatest problems for long distance commitments are the lack of daily communications about small events and issues, and unrealistic expectation about the interaction when partners are geographically together. Basically, when your partner are away, you can't share those small talk in your daily routine, and it's become strenuous on the marriage, it becomes strenuous on the relationship. You can't have those unrealistic expectation times together where you feel like every moment should be perfect. And every moment should be perfect. And we all know that. Every moment won't be perfect. Conflicts come with the marriage or whatever the case may be. this is the need for a time. Like, this is the time where your spouse is away, or whoever the case may be is away, and you need that time. You have to adapt. Adapt communication to long distance. Okay, I'm going to try to make this fast because kids are time. Next is ensure equity in a family relationship. Okay, what is equity? Equity is being fair. Make sure everything is fair in the personal relationship, impartial. According to the equity theory, people are happier and more satisfied with equitable relationships than inequitable ones. People are happier when they're in a fair relationship as opposed to people who aren't. Okay, and we talk about equity. That's just basically everybody in every part, both parties is agreeing to whatever the case may be. All right, psychological responsibility, which involves remembering, planning, and coordinating domestic activities. To work out an equitable division of domestic labor requires more than agreeing that each party would do a fair share. Be equal, because becoming resentful and angry when we invest more into we become resentful and angry when we invest more into our partner than they would invest into us. Like when we're doing the majority part, and also it comes with the psychological responsibility, because now traditionally the world was built on women stay home while the guys or the men go to work. So nowadays everybody's working in the household. So everybody have to do that fair share. If you clean, I clean. You know, that's being fair. So, but we also have that psychological responsibility, and I'm talking from a woman's perspective. We have that psychological responsibility where we are responsible for child care. I have to worry about who's gonna watch my child. You know what I'm saying? We have to worry about child care. We have to worry about parties, birthday parties, basketball games, and things of that nature. You know, and to work out an equitable division of domestic labor requires more than agreeing that each partner will do a fair share. Talk about it, figuring it out, and agree. In so many words. And the last thing I'm going to talk about is avoid intimate partner violence. Intimate partner violence is experienced and perpetrated by both sexes and by gays, lesbians, straights, and transgender people. 30% of women who have been, there's 30% of women who have been a part of intimate partner violence. Okay. It is also experienced and perpetrated by members of all races and economic classes. It happens. Whether you're rich, poor, white, black, brown, it doesn't matter. Intimate partner violence is a thing, and let's try to avoid it. Okay. Most cases, it follows a predictable cycle. Tensions mount into abuser. The abuser explodes, becoming violent. The abuser then is remorseful and loving. The victim feels loved and reassured that the relationship is working. Then the tension mounts again, and the cycle begins again. It's a cycle. Okay. The abuser make that mate, or whoever the case may be, reassure them that it's gonna be all right, and then it happens again. Let's try to avoid that. Okay, and that's all I have for you all today, and I just thank you all for coming, and thank you all for listening.